Well, hello, hello. I've been getting a lot of requests in regards to about fishing a quiet creek and fishing Potomac River, tidal fish and everything else, and how we've been catching a bunch of fish. And I'm gonna give you a couple different keys of what we've been doing. And so this is just free information for you. All right, so what we've been doing, first of all, the most important thing is depth, right? Depth. Here's the thing. If you could see that we're going in between 3 and 4 feet of water. These bass have been in 3 to 4 feet of water. Snakeheads, everything. They've been living there, right? It doesn't matter where in the creek that you're fishing. You're going to be looking for that. That's the number one thing. Number two is this. You see that? That's the grass, right? You want at least 1 to 2 feet of grass below the water line. And it helps to have the milfoil as well as the hydrilla, and these bass and fish get in and out of that grass, okay? And those are two important things. And number three is this: make sure there's bait fish around. You got to look around. There's minnows all over the place here, and there's some right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's piles of minnows everywhere. And once you find the minnows, you will find the fish. And lastly is the type of baits that we fish, right? So what type of baits that we fish? Well, first of all, you've got to work the water column, okay? First of all, I don't do more than 10 casts of each bait, and I get a little that ADD, OCD thing. If I don't catch fish within the first 10 casts of what I'm fishing, then I'm switch it up, right? So what I'm doing is I'm taking a topwater bait, such as like a buzz bait, okay? And I've experienced different things. Just throw the buzz bait out, and I kind of work the clock, right? 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and around, okay? And if I don't catch any bass with a couple cycles around the clock, then I'm going to switch it up. And so then I'm going to work it down about a foot. And what I'll do is I'll take a little white fluke, right, or a fluke of sorts. It doesn't matter the color, really. I think the color is insufficient. It doesn't really matter as long as you put these baits in front of them. So I'm working it down. So first of all, I'll pop it on the top, and then I'll let it sink about a foot, and then I'll pop it again. And then if I don't get any hits, then I'll let it sink down another like to 2 feet and pop it again. I'm working that water column up and down, and various different speeds and reactions and things like that. So, you know, then if there's no strikes, then what I'll do is I will I have usually like 2 or 3 different rods. Then I'll just take a Senko, right? This is a Yum Dinger Senko. And I'll just take that thing, let it sink all the way down, and really work that thing slowly across the grass, and let it bounce off that grass, and see if it fits. But you're always constantly changing. If you don't get those strikes within the 10 casts, and you work that clock around, and then you just start moving locations, finding different spots, and following that 3 to 4 foot channel line, or that line of depth, and eventually you're going to catch fish. You know, fish just like you and me, they want to go. They want an easy meal, right? So anyway, that's been the key. And here's of late, the tides really do matter here. Tidal fishing is so important. You just can't come out at any portion of the day and expect to catch fish. What you have to do is find the fish at the certain moving points, and they're going to move in and out of those depths. And the keys for us are 2 hours before the tide change, when that water's ripping and it's moving real fast in and out, you know, really quick. You want fast moving water, because these fish, what they do is they'll go against the current, right? You always want to throw kind of with the current, and just work that bait with the current and let it just come back. You'll find out where the current's coming in and out, and you want to work that bait with the current, because these fish, what they'll do is they'll get on these points and these ledges and these depths, and they'll just wait for that bait to come across them, and then they'll nail it. So that's what we've been doing. As I said, yesterday I think we caught 25 fish, and man, it was just, we had 5 pounders, 4 pounders, 3 pounders, 2 pounders. It was amazing. But it was all about timing and being able to work that bait in those depths, and being able to change baits. Now, they weren't hitting everything we were throwing at them. We had to really go after them. So another thing too is water clarity. I want to talk about. See how clear that water is right now? Okay, that water's really clear. Now think like a fish. If the water's really clear, do you want to be a part of that in that water. No, because you have birds of prey coming down and just absolutely destroying these fish and everything else. So what they'll do is they'll get deep in that grass, or they'll go to kind of a mud line and go in and out of that clear water, muddy water, and they'll just fish that mud line, right? I'm looking at a bunch of minnows there. I don't know if you can see that or not. But again, this place is full of life. But anyway, work that mud line between the clear water and the muddy water, and those fish are going to hang out there. They'll be able to hide in the clarity or the lack thereof clarity from the birds and other fish and things like that. So I hope that's helpful for you. You should be able to do those things. You'll catch fish. You'll catch fish. And let me know how you do, okay?